Okay, so hey guys and welcome back to another Sport This Week video, and in today's video I've got tennis, rugby, football, Formula 1, cricket, UFC, boxing, baseball, basketball and F1 news. If you're new around here and you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So a lot of news this week, but we're going to start off with the tennis news, where it was the start of Wimbledon. So a lot of news from the tennis this week, starting off with Jabeur won 2-0 versus Jokland. Djokovic won 3-1 versus Kwon. Kontaviet won 2-0 versus Pera. Raducanu won 2-0 versus Van Oudvank. Sakari won 2-0 versus Hive. Swiatek won 2-0 versus Safet. Badova won 2-0 versus Chirico. Nadal won 3-1 versus Sarandolo. Tsitsipas won 3-1 versus Rich Stark. Kontaviet lost 2-0 versus Niemier. Djokovic won 3-0 versus Kokkinakis. Raducanu lost 2-0 versus Garcia. Sakari won 2-0 versus Tomova. Jabeur won 2-0 versus Kawa. Badoza won 2-0 versus Barra. Kontaviet and Rogers won 2-0 versus Heisen and Murray Sharan. Tsitsipas won 3-0 versus Thompson. Swiatek won 2-1 versus Parry. Sakari lost 2-0 versus Maria. Djokovic won 3-0 versus Kekmanovic. Kontaviet and Rogers lost 2-0 versus Krejcikova and Siniakova. Swiatek lost 2-0 versus Cornet, which was a big upset. Top seed going out relatively early. Badoza won 2-0 versus Kvitova. Tsitsipas lost 3-1 versus Gigeros, which is another big upset really. Tsitsipas going out early as well, but I suppose not that big of an upset because Gigeros, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, has been playing well. Nadal won 3-0 versus Sonego. Jabeur won 2-0 versus Mertens, and Djokovic won 3-1 versus Van Rijthoven. And yeah, that is all the tennis news for this week. Moving on to the rugby news. Australia won 30-28 versus England. New Zealand won 42-19 versus Ireland. Argentina won 26-18 versus Scotland, and South Africa won 32-29 versus Wales. And yeah, that is all the rugby news. Moving on to the football news, where there's a lot of transfer news this week. Turner has joined Arsenal. Fernandinho has joined Atletico Paranaense. I don't know if I said that right. Yilmaz has joined Fortuna Sittard. Minamino has joined Monaco. Afobe has joined Millwall. Honeyman has joined Millwall. Lukaku has joined Inter. Vitinha has joined PSG. Richarlison has joined Spurs. FIFA using semi-automated offside technology for the next World Cup. Singh Keller has joined Birmingham. Guendouzi has joined Marseille. Onana has joined Inter. Jota has joined Celtic. Watson has joined Luton. Salah has signed a new Liverpool contract until 2025. Egan Riley has joined Burnley. McCanley has joined Burnley. Harwood Bellis has joined Burnley. Derby have had a takeover, so it's great news for them. It means that big club isn't going to be going under. England under-19s won 3-1 versus Israel under-19s to win the Euros, the under-19 Euros. So I mean, a big achievement for them. Congratulations to them. Johnson has signed a long-term contract with Forest. Forster has joined Spurs. Mkhitaryan has joined Inter. Tolisso has joined Lyon. Sissoko has joined Nantes. Thorndike has joined Birmingham. Henderson has joined Forest. Tokowski has joined Everton. Sewell has joined Dortmund. Bauer has been sacked by Birmingham. Barkhuizen has joined Derby. Bayo has joined Watford. And Eustace is the new Birmingham manager. And yeah, that's all the football news. Sorry if I missed any transfer news. I try and get like the major 5 leagues and the championship, because I count that as a pretty major league as well, all their news, but sorry if I missed any of the transfers. Moving on to the boxing now. Ali will fight Rojas on the 9th of July. Billam Smith will fight Chamberlain on the 30th of July. Smith has joined Boxer. KSI will fight Wasabi on the 27th of August. Cash will fight Alexander on the 9th of July. Taylor has vacated the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Opetaya won via unanimous decision versus Breedis to become IBF World Cruiserweight Champion. Fletcher won via TKO in round 1 versus Renoga. Chamberlain won via unanimous decision versus Vidal to become IBF European Lightweight Champion. Tete won via KO in round 4 versus Cunningham to become IBF International, WBO International and Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Champion. And Joyce won via TKO in round 4 versus Hammer to remain WBC Silver and WBO International Heavyweight Champion. I predicted Joyce to win. I think I said it would have been a bit earlier, but yeah, he still managed to get him out in a relatively convincing fashion. He got caught with a couple of good shots, but that's just because Hammer came to fight. It'd be interesting to see what happens next with Joe Joyce. What a fight I would love, but I really doubt will happen, will be Joyce versus Deontay Wilder. I know it's a bit of a bold shout and not really too many people have been saying it, but it'd just be a fight that I'd love to see, to be honest. If Joyce fights Deontay Wilder and Dubois fights Dillian Whyte, then you can go from there to go straight to the title fight. Or if Povetkin gets involved, then you can use him as well as another fight just to wait for the big title fights with Fury or Joshua or Usyk. Because it seems like at the moment Joseph Parker isn't going to be fighting Joe Joyce, so I would kind of like either of them two fights to happen. But yeah, that's all the boxing news. Moving on to the NFL news. Commanders extending McLaurin. And yeah, that's all the NFL news. It starts, I believe, next month. The season starts, something like that. So I'm looking forward to that. Moving on to the UFC now. Wood will fight Rosa on the 23rd of July. Cormier inducted into the Hall of Fame. Habib inducted into the Hall of Fame. Muniz won by unanimous decision versus Hall. Duplessis won by unanimous decision versus Tavares. Gary won by unanimous decision versus Green. Miller won by submission in round 2 versus Cerrone. Cerrone has announced his retirement. Turner won by submission in round 1 versus Riddell. Munoz versus O'Malley was a no contest due to an accidental eye poke. The prediction I did for that doesn't matter. Barberena won by TKO in round 2 versus Lawler. Pereira won by KO in round 1 versus Strickland. I did say that Pereira would win. I can't remember what round. I can't remember any of these rounds really, what I predicted, but I know who I said I was going to win. Volkanovski won by unanimous decision versus Holloway to remain featherweight champion. I predicted Volkanovski to win, even though a lot of people were actually saying Holloway more than they expected. And Adesanya won by unanimous decision versus Cannonier to remain middleweight champion. And I did say Adesanya would win. So, a relatively good week of predictions from me, I'd say. But yeah, moving on to the cricket news now. Morgan has announced retirement from international cricket, and Butler is the New England white ball cricket captain. So yeah, that's all the cricket news. Moving on to the F1 news, where it's a British Grand Prix. Sainz was on pole, Verstappen started second, and Leclerc started third. In the end, Sainz won, Perez finished second, and Hamilton finished third, with Albon, Zhu, Russell, Bottas, Gasly, and Ocon all not finishing. It was amazing, not amazing, it was crazy, that's the right word, crash at the start. It was amazing Grand Prix, but a crazy crash at the start. I'm glad that everybody's safe from that, but yeah, it was a bit of a mental crash, but the actual race was really good as well, the British Grand Prix always delivers, doesn't it? But yeah, moving on to the baseball news now. Dodgers won 5-3 versus Braves. Yankees won 9-5 versus Athletics. Red Sox lost 7-2 versus Blue Jays. Dodgers lost 4-0 versus Rockies. Yankees won 2-1 versus Athletics. Red Sox lost 6-5 versus Blue Jays. Astros, the new team we're going to be talking about, won 9-1 versus Mets. Dodgers lost 7-4 versus Rockies. Yankees won 5-3 versus Athletics. Astros won 2-0 versus Mets. Red Sox won 6-5 versus Blue Jays. Dodgers won 8-4 versus Rockies. Astros won 2-1 versus Yankees. Dodgers won 3-1 versus Padres. Red Sox lost 6-5 versus Cubs. Astros won 8-1 versus Angels. Dodgers won 5-1 versus Padres. Yankees won 13-4 versus Guardians. Astros won 9-1 versus Angels. Yankees won 6-1 versus Guardians. Red Sox lost 3-1 versus Cubs. Dodgers won 7-2 versus Padres. Yankees lost 2-0 versus Guardians. Astros won 4-2 versus Angels. Red Sox won 4-2 versus Cubs. And Dodgers lost 4-2 versus Padres. And yeah, that's all the baseball news. Moving on to the final sport now, where it's the basketball news, where it's just the Summer League has started. Nothing major. But Lakers won 100-66 versus Heat. Warriors, the new team we're talking about, because I mean they won the NBA, so I thought I might as well start talking about them. I have changed around some of the teams we are talking about a little bit. Dodgers, no, not Dodgers. What am I on about? Warriors lost 86-68 versus Kings, and Heat lost 81-64 versus Kings. Sorry, I stuttered there. But yeah, that's all the news for this week. Hope you did enjoy. Like the video if you didn't like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.